Okay.
Mine's kind of in the same genre. Don't know if you have. I'm sure you have, but I've had in a number of my games that I played in my gaming career, moments of I just like what I call them awe moments. I guess where just you sit back and you're like, wow, this is really cool.
I got so many of those.
Like I'm like hooked and entranced on this whatever it is part of this game.
Yep.
This moment that happens. That's like, wow, I can't believe I don't know, I witnessed this or played this, that's just really cool. You're awestruck a little bit when you see something
Yeah.
I have a bunch of those. I wonder if you have any.
I have two that are basically the same thing.
Sure.
But they both hit me in like almost a different way.
Okay.
I guess. And of course, I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. But when you leave the jail in Oblivion, when you leave those dungeons and you walk out of the sewer and you see that big sprawling world in front of you.
I have the same for Morrowind, getting off the boat and saying,
yeah, and you're just like, I can go anywhere. Like what? Because I mean, that was the first one I played was Oblivion, and that came out in 2007, if I remember correctly.
It's been back there, yeah. It's pretty old now.
So I think it was 2007, but it was one of those things where it definitely was just like, oh my god, like this place is huge. Like just what you can see, and it's not even that big when you leave the tunnels in Oblivion because you got the hill in front of you. Like there's like a lake or a river, but like there's a hill. And so you can't even really see that much. But then it hit me again in Skyrim because they did it differently. You come out of the cave as you leave, and it's just like you turn the corner, and you see that mountain with Bleak Falls Barrow up on it. You can see that, and you see the ruins off in the distance, and you just know in the back of your mind, I can go there.
There's a dragon there.
Yeah, and it's just like it's so cool because the world opens up in a way.
You're just overwhelmed by the expansive nature of this game.
Yeah, because it hits you in a way where you're like, okay, where do I go? Because do I go to the ruins that everyone's going to go to? Well, that's the thing. It's like everyone's going to go there first. Or do I turn around and just see what's behind me? Because you can do that too.
You go to the trader and you steal all of his stuff first, and then you go there.
You put a bucket on his head, and then you steal all his stuff because he'll never see you. No, so there was that moment. There was a few other ones where... Like, because you said you had the same thing with Morrowind. And
yeah,
I mean,
you're a slave and you get off this slave boat in Satanin, this little ocean like village thing.
Yeah.
And just that was so mind-boggling to me. Being in a game like that, expansive, you can do whatever, you can look anywhere you want, you can explore and stuff. Yeah. And immediately die because that game's way harder than all the other ones. But that was like holy crap moment, for me. But another one, I guess, is the first time walking onto Halo in Halo Combat Evolved, second mission called Halo, where you crash land in a life pod and you just immediately wake up and walk out and see this like huge, ancient, machine that you're on.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I don't think I've ever played the first Halo because I started with Halo 3.
Do you need to play it?
What's wrong with you?
It's a lot of fun.
I got into the Xbox late. So the first Halo I played was Halo 3.
Get the Master Chief Collection if you don't have it.
Have it. It's because I got Game Pass.
Seriously, go through them.
Yeah.
Just the campaign. Like, you don't got to mess with anything else. Just go through
I
them.
definitely want to. Cool. I played Halo 3, and then I played ODST, which I thought was fun. And then, was it Reach came out after
Reach
ODST?
came out after that.
I played a little bit of Reach, but not too much, because then I sold
Reach had a cool campaign. A lot of people think that's the best one. It's not.
Yeah, because then I sold the Xbox and got a PlayStation. Just because my cousins had PlayStation 3, so I got that.
3 was fantastic. I loved
1. 3 is awesome too.
I even messed with Halo 4. I was fine with that too, and Reach as well. But Halo 5 kind of sucked. But so yeah, first moments seeing Halo, for sure. My moments. Maybe the biggest one was the intro to BioShock. Going down and hearing that monologue from Andrew Ryan, and then you finally see Rapture. The underwater, like, just bustling city that's, like, falling apart and, like, crazy. Like, that was crazy.
That's another series that you just reminded me I have on PlayStation 4.
Dude, play them.
I need to play it. I know.
That's one of my favorite gaming experiences ever was playing through BioShock 1 when it came out. We rented it from Video Warehouse when it was still a thing in Esterville. Me and my brother. And we played it, like, up until... I think it was like 7 o'clock, whatever, when we had to take it back. and we didn't finish it, and we're like, wow, this is like an awesome
You're
game.
like, we need to rent it
so
again.
we went to Video Warehouse, re-rented it, and went back home and played it through the night and beat it. It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
I think that might be my topic next week. Maybe. We'll see. Like, just in my head, just going back and like going through my backlog of games and just seeing how long of a list I have. And we
You
can
got to
just go
start
through
playing them, man.
I know, and it's bad, dude, because
You're
like
missing out on some wonderful things.
I have just right off the top of my head, Red Dead Redemption 2, all the Witcher games. I played Dragon Age 1 and 2. Never played anything past that.
That reminds me to get you the DLC for the Witcher games.
You didn't give me those mods. I'm waiting because you said I can play it with a controller. You have good mods
Yeah.
for that, and I'm like, absolutely, because I
Mass Effect is out, all of them.
never played Mass Effect either. Like, so I don't own those, so I can't say those are in my backlog if
I
I
do.
don't own it.
On PlayStation.
Okay.
Let's see. For me, one of those moments was actually when I first started Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
Like,
sure, yeah.
It had been a while since I'd last played a
Zelda
fresh
game,
Zelda
right?
game.
Yeah.
And then
That makes
going out
sense.
there and then seeing the actual
So
horizon.
it's
and all the
exactly
different
like with
games.
my Skyrim one.
You made
Yeah.
me think about that. I was just like,
Yeah.
that just blew me away the first time. I was just like, seeing it all in a state of decay, though. Like, I was used to when I played a Zelda game, I'd come in and I would see it, it'd be fresh, it'd be alive, everybody would be like bustling.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the first ones where you came in and everything was in ruins.
See, and that was my first ever Zelda game. Was Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah. Because my parents
I
never.
guess that doesn't surprise
You know,
me.
as a kid though, you're limited to the games that your parents buy for you, and my parents never bought me Zelda.
Sure.
I don't know why. You know, on the Nintendo 64, I've listed through a lot of them already that I had in this episode, but they just never.
They don't have a
never
Link
bought
to the
Zelda.
Past on Switch, do they?
They do on the Super Nintendo Virtual System.
Play that.
Is that so? The Super Nintendo.
That's
is that
my
Zelda 2?
favorite Zelda game.
Do not play Legend of Zelda 2.
Well,
The
what one
Adventure
is that
of
then?
A
It
Link
is
to the Past.
A Legend of Zelda Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo.
That's my favorite one of all time. Fantastic.
That is my favorite one of all time as well. Also, the very first video game I ever played.
It's up there
Very
in my
first video
favorite
game I ever
games.
That's an
played.
entire different conversation,
Yeah.
so don't get into
Yeah,
that
we
too
won't play
much.
that one yet, but
Mario 1, like Super Mario Bros. The first
Sure.
one.
yeah, but
So,
there's lots of good crazy moments, I guess. But I guess I have more, but I'll let Nick talk.
No, I played the Modern Warfare series, and just like there's a couple characters like Soap
Mm-hmm.
that are in it.
And Bryce.
And Price is
Yep.
just like just seeing them how well of characters they are, and then like Modern Warfare 3. I just played the campaigns because it's fun. I like the stories.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Those are actually the
Very good.
like, only
campaigns.
CODs and last CODs that were like this is good
like Blood Brothers,
for campaign.
the one that it's not Roach. Oh shit.
Roach and stuff?
Yuri,
Okay.
the Russian that got betrayed by Makarov,
Yeah.
and he figures out you're with them, and Soap, you're trying to help Soap to safety with Price, and Soap dies, and I just sat there. I'm like, what? And he gave him the 1911 gun that he used
Yeah.
in the first Call of Duty that he shot and killed that
Yep.
the guy that was gonna take over Russia or something. I forget his name.
I can't remember his name.
It starts with a K. I know that, but
Like
he
Kasnov or something like that. like-
something. But yeah, he kills him with that, and it's like Price gave it back to him, and it was like that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Like in MW2 where Roach gets betrayed by the general and he kills Ghost
Oh
too.
yeah, that one. You're like, what?
See, it's funny you bring up Modern Warfare because I have one from Modern Warfare 2, and it was just the playing no Russian for the first time.
Oh, the first.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh,
the
that-
first
that's
time
There's
you
so
had-
much controversy on
The-
that.
I know,
So
and
much.
that game was like
People
it got
when
so
it got
much
remastered,
hate.
people tried to petition that they don't put that in,
Yeah,
which is dumb.
Well,
Oh,
it
very
just
dumb.
shows the side of Makarov who he is.
Yeah.
he's
Murder people.
yeah.
terrible
But
person.
that
Make
was
a
another
statement.
one of those moments where I was like,
Oh yeah, people were
And
crazy
he-
about that one.
wow.
But if he didn't do that, he didn't kill Private Allen, then then Russia and America would never have gone to war. Because he figured out, hey, we got an American in our midst, we're gonna kill
Yeah.
him.
I think out of all that series, my favorite moment would be Gillies in the Mist, if you remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
dude,
Where
that
the
mission
first
is
one-
so
and,
good.
Price and his guy
Yeah.
are, and their ghillie suits are all just snipers crawling through the people, like walking past them in the field. With
Yeah.
these ghillie suits.
Your heart's pumping.
Yeah,
your heart's
dude,
pumping.
That
You're
was
like,
so
oh, no,
good.
no.
I replayed that mission more times than I can count, and I mean,
That was fun,
I can
even on
count to like
veteran.
7.
But
The mission after on Veteran was so bad. That sucked.
See, I played through all of them and
Well, you-
completed all on Veteran, and
Sure,
it was like
it was-
ridiculous.
Oh, it's so hard. Like,
Ridiculous.
when you make the shot and kill him, and you have to get away, that mission right after.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
man,
have to
it
hold
sucks.
at the
Ferris wheel?
The Ferris wheel. Oh,
Yeah.
the
That
dogs are coming
sucks.
on
Yeah.
Veteran. That
Do you know what
sucks
the
so
hardest
bad.
one ever though for Veteran difficulty was? And this is
That's Mile High Club.
yep. It took
It's terrible.
It took me hours to finally get that and figure
There's
out what
like
to do.
a perfect algorithm you have to do. You just throw flashes at certain places at
Yep.
certain times and just sprint through.
Yep.
Like, that's
Yeah.
all you can do.
Yeah, because it's not possible
Mile High-
otherwise.
Oh,
I remember doing
Mile
that.
High Club
Oh,
was
yeah, is that the
ridiculous.
end of-
Yeah,
that's
like
the first Modern Warfare?
That's the
Like the bonus
epilogue
mission.
mission. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you got to kill, assassinate the guy on the plane and jump out. If within, was it 30 seconds or something?
No, you get like a minute.
No, but for Veteran.
Veteran.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
You move one spot, you shot once, you're dead. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's insane. I spent hours trying to get that one night. And then finally I got it, and I was like, wait, what? Like, it kind of blew my mind. I was
Right.
actually able to beat that. I'm
Right.
trying to think of other just wow moments for games, though. Because there's so many.
There's so
There's-
many.
there's another Call of Duty game. This is back like where it was kind of they're all based in World War II. Like Call of Duty 2, the big red one. You guys
Big
ever
red
played
one, yeah.
that one?
Yep.
I just love the aspect of like, okay, we're gonna have a mission of tanks. Like that was pretty cool,
Sure.
and showed like different sides of the war because it's always Normandy. We always see that. We don't see the other side of it, like Africa and Italy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the one mission I really loved was when you're in the B-17 or B-24. I forget which one it is. But yeah, you're a liberator. You're coming from Africa into Italy, the bomb stuff. And yeah, you shoot every gun across the thing in the ball turrets, everything, and then you bomb like these like bomb ships and submarines, and then you bomb like the big warehouse that's like your main
Sure.
target. It's so
Yeah.
like you got to think back in 2005, like that was a pretty good game, and I kind of like I went through the campaign again because I was just like I just want to see how it is because I played it all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. I liked
Yeah.
it, and I just look back. I'm like, oh, I kind of have more respect
Good moments.
for this
Yeah.
game.
I have a couple from Mass Effect. I don't really want to spoil them, though.
I just had one pop in my head.
Go for it.
And it was actually, I don't know why I didn't think about this. It is the coolest experience I've ever had in a video game. It was my first time ever playing VR.
Okay.
And it was at Target Center. It was the Star Wars demo. And they were like, you can pick, do you want to drive a car or do you want to do the Star Wars demo? I'm like, I'm doing Star Wars. And sitting in the X-Wing, flying around, because they put like noise canceling headphones on too. So you're completely immersed into this thing and you have no idea what's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
And flying an X-Wing in outer space and just looking up and you're flying underneath all these like Imperial Star Destroyers and stuff like that. And you're shooting down the TIE fighters. I'm like, and you can look around, like you can turn around, and see R2-D2 behind you. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And ever since then, I've wanted to get VR. I just don't have the space in here for a good VR setup. I could do like just the games where you sit down, but like, there's a lot of games that require a lot of movement.
Sure.
I don't have the
Yeah.
space. But,
Beat Saber.
dude, I want Beat Saber so bad. But no,
I just
just
listen to music. I don't want to play it.
being able to do that, you turn around and just seeing everything around you.
Sure.
It was the coolest thing. Like, I will never forget the way I felt doing that. I was like, this is not real. Like, this cannot be a thing. Like, it just seemed like the technology was so much farther ahead of what my mind thought it should be. Never playing VR before. The first time you ever get VR goggles on, you're in outer space flying around like that. I'm like, this is unbelievably cool. And then the second time I ever did VR, it wasn't the wow moment because I've done VR before then, so I kind of knew what it was like. And this wasn't a game. It was more just almost like a tech demo, I guess.
Okay.
And it was just one of those things that was like, wow, that's weird. Not, wow, that's cool. It was, wow, that's weird. I don't remember what the name of it was. There was a game where you had to like shoot these guys with bow and arrows. Like, they were almost like stick figures, though. It was really cartoony. Didn't look realistic. But you were defending a castle tower. And I hit the point where I was on my tiptoes leaning over. Even though I'm on a flat surface and I could have made that step, my mind would not let me take a step over that tower to see what was below me.
Mm-hmm.
My mind was like, nope, don't do it. And it's just so weird. So that's one of
Sure.
those games that I'll never forget those moments. So I guess that's another wow all
Sure.
moment. I guess it's just like
I've never
it
had
was
that
so
wow
cool.
moment with VR. I've always been a little bit underwhelmed with it, but
See,
guess
I
I've
thought it
never-
was incredible.
I don't know. It's not where I want it to be, in technologically wise. I'm waiting for that future where it's just freaking cool.
See, because
So,
that's where I
SAO
thought it
style?
was.
Well, hopefully we don't get stuck and die. But,
Well, not that, but you know what I'm talking about.
yeah. But
Like Ready Player One or whatever it's called.
gosh, just remember thinking of like the old school like COD games and stuff. Just playing those back in the day with my friends from high school. I remember when Gears of War 1 came out, and that first time you fight the Berserker. I don't know if you've played Gears. Any of you have?
I've seen my
I-
cousins play it, and I played a little bit. Yeah.
I played the first few missions of Gears of War 4. Was it the newest one, or like one of the
5
newer
is
ones?
the newest one, I think.
Maybe it was 5. One of the newer ones on Xbox. I forget.
Yeah.
Like the Xbox
5
One.
came out a couple of years back.
It was
1
probably
year?
Gears of War 5.
Yeah,
but I don't
something like
remember.
that.
I just know I played the first few
But,
missions, but then one of my buddy's dads got put in the hospital and passed away. So I was like, well, then I stopped to go.
Sure.
So I was like, it was fun. I just didn't get to finish the story because that
Sure.
happened. I just never went back to it.
But playing Gears of War 1, there's this moment you're like trying to find your way out of the city and survive, But like the radio calls in, there's a berserker near you, which is this huge, crazy locust is the name of the monsters, the race or whatever. And it's completely blind, but it hears. And once it hears, it just like sprints at you and like will run into a wall and like run through walls and stuff. And if it catches you, it rips you apart pretty much. So like, there's this moment, this cinematic where you go in and this guy walks the other way. It's too loud and the berserker's there, and like you can see the shadows and the light, and he like rips him apart and it walks away, whatever. So then eventually, you meet it, and you gotta run away through these walls. You gotta stand in the wall, make noise, shoot at it. It sprints at you and runs into the doors and breaks them open so you can go to the next room.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You gotta do that like 3 times. You can go outside to get the the ultimate weapon for the game is kind of it's called the Hammer of Dawn, I think, and it's like just a satellite reader, like a laser point.
Okay.
And the Hammer of Dawn is a satellite, and it shoots this huge like solar beam down on the ground that you control, and you have to like point it at this berserker that's sprinting towards you on the outside, and then like right when it gets to you, the satellite launches the beam and like fries it. Like that moment was maybe one of the most exhilarating moments of my gaming career.
Wasn't there a weapon like that in Halo 2? Like not Halo 2, but Halo also.
Not like that. There was
Just
the
a laser.
Spartan laser.
Yeah. There's just the
Which
laser.
was
I thought there
like
was something like the beam that they shot out of the sky in Halo. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I
think
thought
so.
like in the story you did
Are you
something
thinking of
similar.
Star Wars.
No,
I mean, there's sentinel beams that are kind of like that.
maybe in my
But
mind
the
that's.
Spartan laser was.
Well, I know the Spartan laser, like the charge up gun.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like in the campaign. I thought at one point you fired something from space at something. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't.
I'm
strictly
probably
remember,
thinking of
but-
something totally different. And in my mind, just thinking Halo because you're talking Gears.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just that was a crazy moment. I remember.
Oh yeah, there's so many of them, man. So many. Like I feel like we could talk for hours just on this.
Yeah, it's such a cool topic. I think. But just if anyone has any more, I guess, or we can.
I don't know. Most of the God of War games. In the first
Okay.
one, when I first started
Yeah.
playing those,
Sure.
just the sheer magnitude of it, that hit me hard.
Sure. I mean, I see a lot of Final Fantasy. Like, on a lower note, Aerith dying.
Oh, man.
I was like, what, 10 years old? I bawled.
I as well.
I cried, man.
That actually would be another interesting topic. Is like video game moments. Like, have you ever cried playing a video game? That would
Yeah.
that'd be a good
Aerith
topic
dying,
as
for
well.
sure.
Never did.
Have you ever
Twist out.
played? Wait, wow.
Never did.
You never played The
Dude.
Last of Us.
Dude, for a while there,
The opening
all the
cinematic?
games-
Yeah, the opening scene of the original Last
Sure,
of Us
that's
game.
pretty emotional.
That got me.
Dude, the only games I played for a while till I became cultured, I would say. Dude, I only played sports games. Like that's all I did.
I
I'm
want
glad
you.
you've gotten out
grown
of,
up.
a little bit of that.
I want you to borrow, because you don't have a PS4, do you?
No, I don't.
I want you to borrow one of my PS4s and play The Last of Us,
I have to.
because the opening
You could just
cinematic
watch
of that.
the cinematic on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Well, see, I think if you play it, you get good headphones on, and
Sure.
you're doing it yourself. It's gonna hit you a lot different than playing than
dude,
watching
get
it.
it,
I
yeah.
got coworkers that they said they went through it and they said it's just an amazing game.
Like that game made my dad cry. I made him play the first like 10, 15 minutes of it.
Unpopular opinion, I think they're overrated.
See, I think the games are
Unpopular
great.
opinion, I guess.
I think they're
I
great,
think it's
but
a fantastic made game series,
yeah,
especially the first one.
I haven't played the second one.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But, especially the first one. But I found it a little. Because I didn't play it originally when it came out. I played the remaster. When I went
that's when I played.
I found it a
first
bit
as well.
dry. It's very like, there's the infected, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Really aren't a part of the game. Like, it's really just about humans for the most part. Like, and how they
but I think
interact
that's
with
'cause
each
it's
other
more-
and emotional, just humans. Like, and I get
Yeah,
that.
it's more story driven with them,
With just the human side of it.
Yeah.
And I get that, and that has its appeal, and they did really, really well with it.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more. Like,
No,
I
I
wish
get
that,
it. I get it.
like, the whole apocalypse wasn't just kind of a side story. Like, it's not obviously a side story; it's the main thing, but it's, I don't know.
See, the way I see it, I guess,
It's about Ellie and Joel and a couple other characters.
Yeah,
and, their
and how they
relationship
deal
with
with
other
it.
people.
and how they deal with the apocalypse. Like, it's not the apocalypse
It's like-
itself; it's the situation that they're in.
I gotta get this person somewhere to do this thing, messing with all these people, and we just happen to be going through this world with all these freaks in it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. I don't
Because
know.
for them, that was like their normal world at that point.
Right.
So I mean, they wanted to make it seem like, in my mind, that was normal.
It's like I don't know. I don't want to compare it to Walking Dead, but it's like The Walking Dead, where at first it was cool because it was about The Walking Dead, and now
Yeah.
The Walking Dead is the humans, and it's just interactions between different groups of humans, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
No,
I get it, but that's probably a totally different conversation.
definitely worth playing. I'm not dissuading you from playing it for sure. Just my experience probably wasn't the greatest. I don't think.
See, I say that's one of my top games ever.
Sure.
I love it. And if you like story based, I don't think the story, honestly, in my mind,
It's
gets
an
better.
adventure story-based game. I think you probably like it.
But do you think we should probably end because it's like
Yeah.
8:30?
Yeah, we could.
So
I'm down.
Probably about that.
Those
time.
fun topics. I'd
Yeah.
talk
Oh,
about this
super
for
fun.
longer.
yeah,
I
that's
think
why I said
all
like
could
we
go
can.
on and on and on.
Let us
Oh,
know
for sure.
your picks for some of these topics in the comments too. I'd
Oh,
like to
please
hear
do.
what you guys think.
Yeah, please
If
do.
you
Definitely.
disagree,
Yeah.
agree, whatever, that'd be cool.
It'd be super cool. So guys,
Get in the chats on Twitter.
oh for sure,
Yeah,
that'd
down.
be super fun. All of our Twitters, by the way, are linked down below, except for Nick because I don't have
Yeah,
Nick's
I don't
Twitter.
have Twitter.
Yeah, see, he doesn't
Neither
have
did
it.
I
So
until I was forced to get one for this show.
yeah, so
I had one, but I hadn't used it until.
so
the
they're
show.
all linked
So-
below. So
Oh,
if you
yeah.
ever have anything you want to talk about, tweet at one of us. We are for sure there.
Sorry about the stream.